I don't talk.
You don't talk? How come you don't talk?
Do you have $1?
I do. His name is Jacob. That's the one in your dream.
Oh my gosh, can we not talk about this? I don't really like him.
Because he has certain pets.
Yeah, I would never marry him.
But
he has a snake, a water lizard, roaches.
Now you said he came to your locker.
Listen, Drea, I don't want to share that camera. That's embarrassing.
Did you slap him in the dream or that was after the fact?
After he kissed me, I slapped him in the face.
Oh my, he kissed you in the dream. Oh my gosh. Y'all know we can't control what comes out of her mouth, right? She lives in a world of her own. Foster care? Oh, let's talk about that. She's been with us now for about 4.5 years, and we have her heart. She loves to talk about boys, and she loves to talk about TV and Hollywood, and she can name more actors than she can presidents. And so she has a vision for her life already at 14. She knows what she wants to do, and she really is fun. When she wants something, she brings in this little girl face like, so what you doing? In order for her to get something, she has to pass a room inspection. So she'll come in and say, can you inspect my room? Because I want ice cream or something like that. And so she's learned how to manipulate us to get what she wants. Also, the other day she was cleaning her room and she says, is your room clean? And my room is never clean because that's the one room in the house I don't have to clean. But I'm an adult, right? So now she can't wait to be an adult because she doesn't have to clean her room. The other day I cleaned my room and she said something. I said, go check my room out because my room is clean. I think what amazed me about foster care is the condition the children come. If you don't know what they need, they don't know what they need. And once they know what they need, then they need more of it. One of the things about foster care is it really wasn't what I wanted. It was more of what Jeff wanted. When I had realized that I wasn't going to be able to have any more children, I kind of grieved that loss and made my peace with it and was ready to park it there and was very content with that. But what I didn't know is Jeff had not. He was still having desires to have more children. Neither one of us had sisters, so he really did want a daughter. So that led us into foster care. The reason we went the foster care route is, one, foster care to adoption is easier than just outright adopting. It's less expensive. But once we got into foster care, we learned it's not as easy as it seems. It's not a job, it's a commitment. You can't quit. You can't just give them back once they've entered into your home. And so making sure that you know what your fit is for foster kids or for the type of children, if you got to pick your children, that you want, you really need to have a good idea of what you're willing to endure. The children that come to you are broken. They have been mistreated, they have been neglected, they have been abused. It's not the cream of the crop. It's hard, and I didn't expect it to be hard. Even my husband, Jeff, has said it's harder than he thought it would. It's not what he expected it to be. But here's the other side. We have a 14-year-old daughter. She's funny, she's witty, and she's broken. And that's okay. The Lord has taught me more through her than probably I've taught her. So the one thing that I definitely learned in doing foster care was I myself was a child that had her needs met. I grew up in a very hostile house as a young child. It got better by my teenage years, but as a young child, I lived with a very dominant father. And so when our foster daughter came And she began to share her experiences rubbed on my own. So my sympathy and my compassion for her grew, but I also know I needed to parent her. I couldn't just befriend her, but I needed to parent her. But there's no parental technique that works on a child that's as broken as some of these kids are. Traditional parenting of restrictions or withholding, luxuries or privileges really work. Some foster parents have nothing to negotiate with the child. One of the things that really stood out to me that I didn't really understand is though even she could talk, she was nonverbal. She didn't communicate in a sense that she just told me what was wrong. She screamed at me. She yelled at me. She kicked the walls. She beat the furniture up. She was just all outward anger. She didn't have the words to say, I'm hurting. She didn't even know how to say, I'm hurting. That's our society. People don't know how to say, I hurt, and I don't know what to do with this pain. I don't know what to do with this disappointment. I don't know what to do with this failure. And instead of taking the time to learn the words, learn the vocabulary, express it, we take it out in anger. We take it out in eating. We take it out in so many other ways. And that really stood out to me with foster care and foster care kids. Most of our foster kids, they just wanted a hug. Is that crazy? They just wanted to know somebody loved them. So for the parents out there that are caring for your own children or for foster children, don't forget to stop and say, I love you. Don't forget to stop and hug them. Don't go to bed without them knowing that no matter how bad the day was, I still love you. Your behavior does not dictate my love for you. And that's what Christ does for us. No matter how bad we are, his love doesn't turn off. So our love shouldn't turn off either. So for these kids, for these moms, for these dads, for the single parent who is trying to raise children and a family and keep everything together, it's okay to struggle. It's okay to not have the answer. It's okay to not be okay. But make sure that you're learning to communicate with the vocabulary. Look the definition of the word up. Make sure you're communicating to the children. Don't let your hurt be their hurt. I had to make sure that my childhood hurt didn't become her childhood hurt, because that's what we do. We tend to just let the domino keep falling. And at some point we have to stop the domino from falling. The workers are on the front line, but the foster parents are the 911 of foster care. We are the ones that are triaging these children. We are saying what they need to the workers. It's hard to hear a child tell you that they've been sexually abused. How do you respond to that? How do you respond to them? I don't know. Do you? I found myself in very uncharted waters, very unfamiliar territory, and I learned as I went. It wasn't something that I could be prepared for, but God was there. And he answered the call. He wanted to save a little girl, and he asked me to do it. I think if I had to say Selena taught me anything, she taught me to give grace. I didn't necessarily want to give grace on many occasions. And even today now, it's like, okay, grace is out. You're going to have to, figure this out. You see, grace can't be taught until it's given. There's no words to teach grace. There's no words to say, be graceful. But until you feel grace, you can't understand grace. I remember the first year that she was here, it was an entire year. I just kept giving grace and giving grace and giving grace. And then I had to teach her grace ends. And when grace ends, that means now you have to start giving grace back. I love now that Selena gives grace, but she would have never learned to give it had she never received it. So I cannot wait for you guys to meet my friend Myra. Myra is a longtime foster parent. She has adopted several children, and she kind of my mentor in foster care. When we struggled with our foster care journey in the beginning, Myra was one of the ladies that we turned to. And without further ado, let's meet Myra. So we are having Ms. Myra on today. Ms. Myra is my mentor for foster care. Myra had a slogan. She said that she wanted the children walking and talking. And after the second 18-month-old, I understood completely. Myra is the queen of foster care in my eyes and in my heart. And she has been an encouragement and always my go-to when foster care got harder than I could bear. And she was always the voice. And so Myra's story is amazing. And I think we should hear Myra's story.
Well, I have been a foster parent for over 23 years, and it has been a journey, quite a journey. I am the adoptive parent of 5. They're not, 2 siblings, and the rest are not siblings. Actually, the beginning, I started to foster to adopt, and was told that fostering and adoption were 2 different things, and told that very vividly, that to be clear. And so once I clearly understood what adoption and foster care was, the difference, I said, okay, let's foster and see how it goes to adoption.
Right.
So actually fostered not many kids, I can say. At first, sitting in the presence of others who had said, I had 123 kids come through my house. I've had 75 kids come through my house. And I'm sitting there saying, I've only had 3. And they never left. And so they stayed, which was a good thing. So it didn't get a flow of in and out. But totally, I have fostered about 20 kids in total.
That's
20
impressive.
kids in total. And I am a therapeutic foster parent.
Oh.
So those kids are a little bit more challenging, a little bit more demanding of time for you.
So define therapeutic.
Therapeutic fostering are children, again, that are a little bit more challenging than just a regular normal child that you would say, okay, come into the home. The parent has, a few issues. They were removed and they just need to be in your care for a certain amount of time till the parent comes, gets themselves together. Right. Therapeutic, they could come with mental issues, which were caused by neglect, severe neglect, homelessness, abuse, sexual and physical, mental. And so that is sort of the difference. Now, every child that comes into foster care is going to have some type of illness. Right. I'll say it doesn't necessarily have to be mental illness, but some type of traumatic mishap. Because one, they're separated from their family. That's number one. So you're already traumatized being separated from your family. As they used to say, put yourself in a place as you going to school with eating breakfast with your family and eating dinner with someone else. So how traumatic is that? Yeah. That you don't get to go back home, however chaotic it is. Right. And so that's therapeutic, where it's a high level of care may be needed for the children before going into a residential setting. So that was a parent that I was in that.
I had made a statement previously that, these kids aren't coming from the cream of the crop. No. These are the low bottom pickings that are left. And So when they come, they're not trained, they're not groomed.
Right. How to act, how to bathe, how to make a bed, how to, my oldest daughter my very first child that I fostered, 26, from Virginia Beach, had never been to McDonald's, had never been to the beach. I'm like, that's crazy to me. So we take it for granted that, everybody go to McDonald's, get ice cream if nothing else. Everybody go out to the beach if nothing else.
What?
Never.
That's
had
crazy.
Never even experienced it. Didn't know anything about hygiene. She was 7 years old. Nothing about hygiene. Lived in a home that was abandoned. Abandoned with wood, holes in the floor, snakes in the house, things like that. No food, no furniture, anything like that, along with 3 other siblings, one who could not speak. And they had made up their own language. So, yeah, these kids come from very, very severe backgrounds. And you have to go in fostering, understanding, and adopting, understanding that sometimes love is not enough. Sometimes it's not.
And it hurts.
It hurts you because you want to help and you want to be the one to make a difference, to make a change. Right. But for me, in that state where I feel like I can't, or love is not enough, I have to put back into reality. I did not create this mess.
Right. And you helped me
I'm just
with
trying
that.
to help navigate this child through life as best I can. I didn't do it. So I can't beat myself up if I can't fix it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No wiser words were spoken.
Yep.
I didn't create this mess. So let's talk about, this is hard and I don't want to do it anymore, but I can't quit.
No, you can't quit. You can't quit.
I can't give them back and I don't know that I want to do it.
It is hard and it's okay to feel that way. I think a lot of people feel very guilty because they say, oh, I don't want to feel that way. And yeah, you can. I don't want to do it, and I don't want to put up with this no more.
Right.
It's very hard. If you've ever fostered a therapeutic child, it's very hard, because we are human, and being human, we have real feelings. Right. And I think sometimes it's miscued, and this may sound hard because social services will say, it's about the child and not react. And I get that to a certain point, but when you're being cursed at, yelled at, hit, your house has been torn up, your car's been torn up, you're getting calls every day from school, you're at the point, and this is like every single day, you're having feces thrown at you, you're having, bodily fluids or whatever, and it's hard.
You feel hated.
You do.
You feel hated.
You do. And you have to really get yourself in that space where that the child isn't talking to you. You know that the reaction is not to you, but you're human. Right. You're human.
It is at you.
But you're human.
Yeah.
And you feel that. And so you have to really put yourself in a space because you want to give up. You want to quit. You want to say, and I did. I tell them, you come please.
Come pick this one up.
I can't do this. I can't. This is crazy. Yeah. This is crazy. I didn't sign up for this. Closes at the door. And at that moment, when it hit me, I'm telling you, so at the door packed. I can't do this. The child was 8. I can't do it anymore. And when the social worker came to my home, and she spoke to the child and she said, I don't have anywhere else to put you. Okay. I have no other home to put you in. You've exhausted all my home. She's talking to an 8-year-old. Right. And I'm looking and I'm like, almost, I don't care because I can't do this. And it's something, I don't know what happened. I kind of lost my mind for a minute, but when she said that, I said,
why can you say that to an 8-year-old?
I can't. She said, the only place I have to put you is a mental hospital. She's 8. I'm new at fostering. This is my second placement.
Might be okay.
I didn't know. I didn't know it could have been okay to do that. I didn't know. I'm new. Yeah. And then I just said, you know what? Okay. We'll try again. Okay, we'll try this again because, again, I'm new. So therefore, I don't, did not know that facilities could help and be a good thing. Right. I didn't know that at the time.
I didn't either.
Mm-hmm. They can be a good thing. And when you need that mental break, you need to do what's best for the child and you.
So do you think it's like, because it's not your child that you are feeling a disconnect? Like sometimes I feel a disconnect. I'm raising somebody else's problems.
Yes.
This is not my problem. These are somebody else's problems. I'm just trying to fix them.
Absolutely. There's always, I think people think that this is going to be, everybody happy, the Waltons, let's go to sleep, mom wake up, and it's not. No, it's not. And you don't feel a connection. You do not. And it's okay. It's okay.
Foster care training didn't prepare you for that.
No, they didn't.
Didn't prepare me.
They didn't prepare you for that because foster care training doesn't prepare you for a connection. They don't want the connection. However, let me take that back. They want the connection to be for a lifetime, but they want that connection to go back with their parent.
Right.
So they don't prepare
the government
you.
Doesn't want to support.
Right. They don't prepare you when you adopt that, wait a minute, this child really love me? Or do I really love this child? I mean, it's a separation because...
I love them. Mm-hmm. I just don't want them.
Right. You do. And it's so honest. Thank you for saying that because people won't say that.
Didn't mean I wanted them 24/7. Where's the grandchild aspect of this?
There's no aspect like that. They come and they stay. And then you try to find the support to help you navigate through it.
And they rock your world.
Yes.
Turn it upside down like a pancake.
Yes.
Burn it on both sides.
Yes. Absolutely do. Yeah. Absolutely do.
But in the end now, Myra, you've gone from fostering to adoption. So you have a complete circle of life. How's that first daughter doing now?
The 27-year-old daughter of mine is somewhere in New York, homeless, needing mental health help. That's the last I heard of her. Was in December when I got a call from a social worker in New York. I haven't seen her in 13, 14 years, 15 maybe. Yeah.
That makes it even harder.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you influenced her enough while she was with you?
I feel I did my part. I feel I made a difference in her life, but then there always are choices that you make.
So I have fears even with my adopted daughter that I'm putting all this effort in and she's just going to leave. And that hurts. I'm investing and investing and investing. I'm paying for private Christian school. I'm giving her everything in the world she could ever imagine. I'm kind of just, my goal is the high school diploma. If we got that, we got a lot. Right. But I'm afraid that she's just going to run back to mom. She hates dad right now, but she could change. Right. For the sake of getting out of here.
Right. There's always that feeling. Let me tell you what my 26-year-old told me. She was in jail when she told me. Oh, well,
she was contained.
She was contained. But she told me, because I was in the same space that you are now, thinking the same, oh my God, I invested. I gave her everything I could think of, best life I could think of, opportunities, all of this stuff. And she said to me, I didn't know how to appreciate it. And when she told me that, it clicked. She didn't. They don't. It wasn't and it wasn't like I was substituting the stuff for love. I loved her too, and was showing her that I loved her and supported her and all these things. And she said, I didn't know how to appreciate it.
How do you teach appreciation?
You don't.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know how.
You don't. You just, in that moment, I'm saying, okay, I got 2 other kids. Before the last 2 I adopted, I got 2 other kids. How do I change that narrative going forth with them? Do I just stop giving them the best or that I can give them? Do I, because they don't know how to appreciate it, do I just kind of fall back and, let's not do this or do that? I just still invest.
Well, and I think if this is the best part of her life, then may these 10 years be the best part of her life.
Absolutely.
And if there's no other part, then that's okay.
Okay, yes. And that's okay.
That's kind of where I'm landing.
And it's okay. And it's okay because still you have to say, you did the best that you can do. You can't fix what you didn't break. You can't fix it. And
Sometimes I can't fix what I did break.
I mean, but you know, we didn't bring them into our homes broken. We didn't bring them into our lives, you know, hurt. And we are so, I know I am. I'm a fixer. You know, I'm a fixer. I want to fix it. I want to fix it. I want to make it better. And I had to, I can't. You can't. We can't. Angie, we can't. We can't. All we can do is to love them enough to let them go, because they have choices.
So for all those parents, foster parents, anyone that is taking care of children, don't quit. One of the things that those children are doing is they are pushing you so hard because they want to know if you'll quit. And it's hard and it's grueling. And if you need encouragement, or if you need advice, if you have a question, my email address will be here on the screen. And certainly just send that question. I'm glad to try to get you the resources that you need. But don't quit. Not when they're 18, not when they're 40, not when they're 50. You just never quit being mom. You never quit being dad. Because remember, as they grow, they become you. And so you're going to look yourself in the face one day and you're going to be like, oh, that's me. Where'd she get that from? When she grows up and makes, you know, women decisions, she needs a woman to look up to. And I want that woman to be me. She's so fun because now she's willing to engage with us on the humor, and she comes up with her one-liners and her silliness of a 14-year-old girl, and it really is endearing. I feel like we've won because we have her heart, and now that we have it, we can reach her, we can teach her, and we can win her. And that will make her life better in the long run. So if you enjoy coming into my home as much as I enjoy having you, feel free to visit my Patreon and help us keep these lights going. Appreciate you. Thank you.